What's up, y'all? This is MGTV Reactions, and today we're going to be reacting on the Resilient Jenkins. All right, you guys, so listen, there's a lot to unpack when it comes down to this TikTok couple, okay? It's one thing after another with these two. So, you guys, I recently did a reaction on Stephanie basically complaining about Drew and things like that. And so after that, they went on live to discuss their relationship issues, all right, and also to basically break up for the people. Now, the big question here is this, are they really breaking up? Okay. Is Stephanie really ready to leave Drew in the dust? Or is Stephanie just out here trying to get sympathy from the people so that they can donate to her the same way they donated to Desiree? Is this a money grab? Okay, so those are the questions at hand. So, you guys, I have 3 clips that I thought were very telling. Okay, so I just want to start off with the first clip. Okay, because I really feel like it's interesting that they are jeopardizing Drew's custody that he does have of his son Deshaun. All right, they had said some very disturbing things. So let's go ahead and listen to that one first. I want to just come in hot, okay?
I don't like when you talk about how you wouldn't try to keep Day.
It's hard to with everything going on. I don't know how I would manage everything. It's not calculating. Hi.
All right, you guys. So in that clip, I know it was a little muffled, but basically it's an audio where Stephanie is saying to Drew, I really don't like how you said that if I leave, that you wouldn't keep Day, which is Deshaun, Drew's son. So Stephanie is voicing concerns that Drew would give up on, Deshaun and just turn him over to his mother if he no longer had Stephanie in his life. Drew responded to her and said, I just don't know how I would be able to keep everything together with everything that's going on. So that was very interesting to me. It makes me believe that if they are willing to put that out there, do they really even want Deshaun with them in the first place? Because that's like the perfect ammunition to use against them in court, okay? He's obviously saying that if he doesn't have Stephanie in his life, he doesn't really have any interest of having his son. And that leads me to believe that if this is real, Drew is really just ready to be solo. Okay, he doesn't want to be tied down with kids. He doesn't want to be tied down with a woman. He's ready to just go ahead and do his thing. Because you guys remember in my previous video, we talked about how Stephanie was online complaining about Drew's corn addiction. Basically, he loves to watch corn, and that she has some concerns about him doing DoorDash and not answering the phone for hours at a time. So she basically was insinuating that he's cheating. I mean, you guys, that's neither here nor there. I really don't care about that. But my whole thing is this: if they put that audio out there, I really don't believe that they have any interest in keeping Deshaun. So yeah, Stephanie said that she's only sticking around to make sure that Deshaun is safe because she cares for him. But to be honest, you guys, I really don't believe that that's the truth. Because if you're willing to talk about things like that, you're basically opening the door for Deshaun to possibly be taken away at the next at the next court hearing. Given the fact that they have not abided by their custody order, and the mother has not been able to get visitation. There hasn't been any communication. And then they have this out there on the internet to where Drew is admitting that he would just let Deshaun go if he no longer has Stephanie. It's not going to look good for him in July. So there's that. All right, so enough about that, you guys. Let's go ahead and get to the next clip that I thought was very interesting, okay? Because this kind of had me leaning towards maybe this is a money grab, okay?
It's like, yo, Okay, done. Tired of that. It's not a DV situation here. I do feel like I'm having the hardest time figuring out how to get out of this situation. That I don't like. All I got on here to say is that it's y'all's time to shine, because y'all kept saying I have a community behind me. So I truly hope that's the case, because like I said, I have nobody. I have my babies and myself and God. And I guess that's all I need, but I'm probably up to you guys within a few hours. I'll see you.
All right, so you guys, Stephanie said it's your time to shine, okay? And I believe she's saying that because the people were in her comments telling her that she would have a lot more support and a lot more women rallying around her if she did decide to put her children in a better situation and leave Drew. So essentially what Stephanie is implying is that if, now that she is considering leaving Drew, all right, she's looking to you guys to support her. And I believe that Stephanie is really looking for you guys to support her financially, the same way Desiree was supported with her GoFundMe that she did for her lawyer fees. Okay, that's what it's given to me. I mean, something comes off to me. Something is just coming off like, I don't know, like I just don't know how to describe it. It just makes me feel like this is not genuine. They're not actually breaking up. I think that Stephanie has gotten tired of people bashing her online, especially about the custody situation with especially about the custody situation. Sorry about that, you guys. I got distracted. But especially about the custody situation with Drew and his baby mama. It was a lot for her to take on their hate. And I think that she's trying to turn things around by giving the people something that she believes that they want to see, which is her actually leave Drew. Okay. But I don't really think she's actually going to leave Drew, because at this point, it's already been a horrible situation from the beginning. And since the beginning, since she's went viral on TikTok and since I've been watching her, she did nothing but uplift Drew. She did nothing but speak highly of Drew. Outside of her saying that he's not really attracted to her, or she feels like he's not attracted to her because he doesn't call her beautiful, and things like that. For the most part, she speaks highly of Drew, okay? And she was perfectly fine with being cooped up in a one-bedroom apartment with all the children. She was perfectly fine continuing to procreate with him like that. She was perfectly fine with sticking by him while they stay in a motel room with all the children. Okay, she just was on here complaining about their lack of intimacy, which lets the people know that she is thirsty to be intimate with Drew, okay? And she does not like their current living situation because they can't get it in how they normally would. So I just feel like it's a huge jump. And I feel like now all of a sudden, she's coming out here. She's coming out here saying all of these things, and she's acting as if she's ready to leave. And I don't know, you guys, I'm not really buying it. Let's go ahead and listen to the next clip that I thought was very telling.
My car is like nearly $2,000 behind that I got to catch up on. I'm already paid up to Friday for this motel room, but that doesn't necessarily keep me here, if that makes sense. But I'm probably going to end up just having to completely start fresh, because I ain't even going to try to go into a storage unit and get all the stuff that's in the storage. And let's be honest, most of the stuff that was at the apartment wasn't in the best condition anyway, so a fresh start was kind of going to be needed anyways. Oh man, bro, I'm sorry if I'm just rambling. This is a lot in my head, a lot that I've had a really hard time opening up about, and just waited because I wanted to give our family the most chance. I wanted to really and the last thing I wanted was split me and Drew up, is opinions from online people that don't even have a say in this relationship. But I've cried more times than I can count.
All right, you guys. So listen, I felt like that was very telling as well. I mean, from her, she's going from one extreme to the next. Okay, she wants to tell the people about her financial struggles that she's having, as far as being $2,000 behind with the car payments, and she's paid up for the motel for the week, but after that she doesn't know what she's going to do. I'm confused by this, because from what I understand and from what Stephanie was saying, she said that they had a savings. Remember, you guys, what Stephanie was saying on her TikTok, that her and Drew, they were saving, you know, to get the kind of home that they wanted, where they wanted it to be, and things like that. She said that she didn't have time. She wasn't able to spend money on certain things because she was saving. So why is she now coming on here discussing how much money she owes for certain things, when she already told the people that they had a savings account and that they were already trying to save money to move? It's giving that Stephanie basically is trying to see if the people will rally around her, because she's saying that she's leaving Drew, and if the people will donate to her so that she can get housing for her and her children quicker. All right. She's talking about how she's going to have to get rid of all the things that's in storage. I mean, well, most of the things that was in storage was actually Drew's stuff, correct? Because wasn't that his apartment that she moved herself and her children into? So I don't know, you guys. It's definitely giving that this is a money grab. In my opinion, listen, if I wouldn't blame Stephanie, listen, okay, let me just slow down. um, in my opinion, Stephanie should have stopped dealing with Drew a long time ago. All right, she should have stopped dealing with him a long time ago. Once, first of all, being as though they were never even able to go on a date to properly get to know each other, that was a red flag. The fact that he was, so quick to allow her to move in with all of her children, that's a red flag. The fact that they don't have any type of outside support from his family or hers, okay, that's another red flag. So and the fact that he is not a provider, the fact that he's willing to sit on the game all day and do the bare minimum, those right there are all the reasons why Stephanie should have left Drew alone. Also, she should not have procreated with him, because she has seen that he will, in fact, he will abandon his children, because he's already done it before. So if Stephanie were to leave Drew, I would completely understand that. Okay, I think that is honestly the best thing for her to do. I feel like she needs to focus on herself and cut off the dead weight. However, okay, especially if he's cheating and all that, child, listen. But however, being as though Stephanie has put up with all of the things that she's put up with thus far, and that she has still spoke highly of that man and have uplifted that man, it just makes me feel like Stephanie is not really trying to leave Drew. Stephanie does not really want to leave Drew. That's just my opinion, you guys. I want you guys to drop down in the comments and let me know y'all thoughts on this situation, because I want to hear what y'all got to say. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and share my screen really quickly. We're going to head over to TikTok and watch a little bit of their live that they did together, and talk about that conversation, because I thought that was very, very interesting. It just sounds like two people talking about different things. Like, I don't, it just seemed like it wasn't a very productive conversation. So let's go ahead and get into this. Just give it a little bit of time.
I feel like I would like it if you'd say a little more, because
What would you like? There you go. One. I don't.
I don't want to be put on the spot.
I know.
I was packing shit up and walking out, packing crap out and leaving. And you said we could come up on here and like.
I know. That's why.
So first things first, Stephanie says she was packing her stuff up and getting ready to leave. But because Drew said he was willing to get on live, she decided to stop and go ahead and handle that first. I'm confused. But then in the other video, she acted as if Drew wasn't in the house anymore, or Drew wasn't in the room anymore. So he was the one that left. Well, which one is it? Were you packing and getting ready to leave, or were you making him pack and leave? Which one is it? I think that this is a skit or something. Like, this just can't be real. But let's go ahead and continue.
I'm trying to be as most vocal as possible.
I never should have not had the support back before it turned into court matters when your exes popped up. Like, I wish you would have said something then, because now we have all this like, oh, you can't speak, you can't clear the air on stuff that has not shit to do with me. And I don't appreciate it. And that's another thing that makes me want to.
So Stephanie said, I never should have not had the support back when your exes popped up. I mean, what support was she looking for Drew to give her? They came out and they addressed certain accusations that were out there about the child support and him abandoning his child and things like that. I'm just a little confused about what kind of support was she talking about. The only support that she should have been interested in getting from Drew was getting him to be a provider, all right, and do what a man is supposed to do, which is get his family up out of this trifling predicament that they're in. As far as the baby mama situation, I'm not sure how much more support she was looking for with that. Did she want him to get on here and stand up for her? Did she want him to do that? I'm a little lost about that part. What kind of support was she looking for during that situation? I mean, I understand her frustration with the fact that she received a lot of backlash for the things that he chose to do just because of the fact that she was with him. But at the end of the day, that's what comes along with a man. If you choose to be with a man as trifling as Drew, who abandons his children and does not pay child support, who's a deadbeat, all right, and who is also not doing right by you, then you have to expect that the people are going to be saying things directly to you about that, because you're the one who's choosing to deal with that. So of course you're going to get backlash from that. And I don't even understand what type of support she could expect for him to provide her at that point in time, because she made the choice herself to stay in that predicament with him. Okay, but let's continue.
Just go, and I don't know what you got to say about it.
About me supporting you more?
Yeah.
I told you already. Inside. With Addie.
Right, so then say it.
Then I'm gonna work on being more supportive.
I don't know what that looks like, because that's something.
Do you think I know what that looks like?
My whole thing is, why are they having these type of conversations around the kids and involving the children in the conversations? He said, I told you how I was going to support you more inside with Addie. First of all, the children shouldn't even be hearing these types of conversations. I mean, if anything, they should be up on the porch talking about it, and they just let the kids go and run in the field while they're having their conversation, or whatever the case may be. But they should not all just be in a room having this conversation openly in front of all the children. Imagine how they feel.
That looks like either. I think all my life I know what that looks like either. I don't.
So here's a problem. He's saying that he's going to support her more. And whichever, I mean, I really don't even understand what she's talking about. I don't only support I can understand her really wanting from him at this point is financial support and loyalty and all that good stuff, you know. but I'm just not understanding what she's talking about. And he's saying, I don't know what that looks like. So my thing is, how could you possibly be planning to support her more if she's not even voicing what type of support she needs from him, right? And he's not even telling her what type of support he plans to give her going forward that he was not giving her before. That's what I'm saying. This is not a productive conversation. I mean, it's just not making any sense to me.
That doesn't sound like a way to fix anything to me. What changes? Changes.
We've already talked about this. If you, like I said, I'm just gonna work on things. If you want to go, I'm not stopping you. I wasn't stopping you 4 hours ago.
So he just said, I'm not stopping you. I wasn't stopping you 4 hours ago. Now, if this is real, the fact that he's saying that should be letting her know, you know, that he really doesn't care whether you stay or whether you go. Because at the end of the day, to be honest, for Drew, it's a burden to have her and all the kids. You know, he'd much rather have quiet, the freedom to do what he wants to do, the ability to come and go as he pleases. He would rather not have to hold kids while he's playing the game. You know, that's the type of life that he would rather live. So he's not going to stop Stephanie from leaving. If she wants to leave, she can freely do so. He's not going to attack her, stalk her, hold her back. Because truth be told, Drew doesn't even want to be in that situation. To be honest, he doesn't. He just he only got with Stephanie because he needed somebody to come and help him take care of his son. And she was just so desperate, and ready. He chose her. I mean, how often are you going to find a woman who's willing to just move in and play stepmom immediately, and do everything for you? I mean, Stephanie was the perfect candidate. Basically, she's looking for his validation. She's very insecure. She's not very attractive, so there won't be too many other men trying to get her. She was perfect for Drew. And now, that things are falling apart and things like that, it would make sense for Drew to be like, yeah, you can go if you want to go. I'm not stopping you. But, at the end of the day, I think that Drew probably really wants to end things. But at the same time, I don't think that Stephanie is ready to leave Drew. I feel like Stephanie is only doing this because she wants the support of the people on the internet. That's what she's looking for. Because she also came on here talking about how she's built this, she built her platform. She said, I worked really hard building this platform and I wanted to do this for me and my children. And now it's getting out of control because of the things that Drew has going on. So that's what I think that this is about. I think this is about Stephanie trying to get the people back on her side. Stephanie trying to get the people to support her financially the same way they did for Drew's other baby's mom. She's trying to get the people to help her get into housing faster. And I also think that Stephanie really does not care about Deshaun. And she really isn't too concerned with Drew keeping Deshaun just because of the simple fact that they were willing to have that conversation on TikTok Live, knowing that those words could be used against them or Drew. The fact that he said that he would just give Deshaun up, basically, if Stephanie wasn't around, that does not look good in court at all. That makes it look like, the only reason why he's withholding the child is because he has Stephanie. Like, what? I mean, it just sounds crazy to me, but let's go ahead and finish.
It feels like it's nearly impossible to get everything figured out. I have to pack up a quarter of my crap and then take Atlas to an environment he's not used to and worry about that and what I'm going to do with the girls. Like, there's so much I have to think of to just...
Right, and do you think anybody...
So She said she's going to have to take Atlas to an environment that he's not used to. But Stephanie, don't you already have to do that? What, every 28 days you have to leave from that motel and go stay in a different place because you can't establish residency there? So essentially, Atlas already has to get used to being in unfamiliar environments, once a month. I'm quite sure he'll be fine with it, especially if you move somewhere better or if you leave and go somewhere better. Then she's saying she has to figure out what she's going to do with the girls. I'm confused about what she means about that. Like, what do you mean? Aren't they're going to be with you still? Because you don't have anything going on. You don't have a job. So the main thing is where you all would go. But at the same time, Stephanie's paid up at this motel until Friday. They've been paying the motel fees all this time, right? So all she has to do is continue to pay it. What is there to figure out? It's either that or go and stay with your family. I'm just not understanding. She's trying to make it seem more difficult than it is. If Stephanie really wanted to leave and be done with Drew, she could be. But that's not the case.
So if not, I'll get up and fucking go. Like I said, like I asked Addie, if you want me to get up and fucking just go, I'll get up and fucking go. Excuse me.
You see how they make themselves look like horrible parents? He said, like I asked Addie, if you want me to get up and effing go, I'll just get up and effing go. Well, why is that a conversation that's being had with the child in the first place? Why is he asking Addie if she wants him to just get up and effing go? See, they're not doing themselves any favors when it comes to their children, especially after what Stephanie said the other day when she was in the car on live venting about Drew. When she told her daughter she told her daughter that she needs to get used to the disappointment from Drew. And now they're saying that there was a conversation that was had where Drew asked Addie if she wants him to just get up and effing go. Why is she a part of an adult conversation? At this point, I don't know what their whole thing is, but this is insane.
Yeah, but you can't expect her to not answer that from a point of view because she's a child. She loves us. So none of them want us out of the picture.
It's what you want too. That's what
I want stability for the kids.
Okay, well I've already asked you.
And I've said that
this is what I mean. It's just two idiots having a fucking conversation. She said, I want stability for the kids. He said, I've already asked you. He's like, you have already asked what? What have you already asked? Like, I'm just confused. What exactly are they saying here? This is not a productive conversation at all. I feel like they just decided to get on live and make it seem like there were some complications. I mean, I don't understand how after this type of a live, how there could be any sort of clarification as to where things are going from here. This just makes me feel like they're trying to make it seem like they have conflict so that the people can sympathize with Stephanie. That's what it sounds like to me at the end of the day, because this is not even adding up. This is not even making any sense. But let's go ahead and finish this up.
I don't know. Because I just feel like I'm on the spot right now.
Well, you are. She says she feels like she's spiraling. Well, you are. You're having a conversation that's not productive, makes no sense. It's not going to go anywhere. It's absolutely retarded. I'm confused listening to him. So I just don't understand how there could be any clear direction of where things are supposed to go after that. Was that even a breakup video? Or was that them basically trying to figure out what they're going to do moving forward and how Drew's going to so-called support her going forward? The only support that man should be worried about giving her right now is financial support. All right. And maybe some emotional support, because I know that it's a lot on everybody, for them to all be cramped in the room. So he just needs to basically man up and do what a man is supposed to do. That's all he needs to do. But I just don't know. I'm not buying it, you guys. I can't wait to hear what y'all say down in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and read some of these comments on this person's TikTok just to see what other people are saying. And then that's going to be the end of this reaction. So somebody said he knows his kid is going to his mom. She can leave with the other four, and he's back to being free and single again. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, honestly, I feel like that's all Drew really wants, is to not have to be bothered with anything or anybody. Um, Somebody said he's going to leave and she's going to have the same problem that Arlita has had with child support. She's going to start doing single mom content and airing him out. Might even team up with the other BMs. I'm calling it now. Mark my words. Okay? I don't think she'll be able to team up with them because I don't think they like her at all. Somebody says Stephanie has realized she's had all these kids, and if she leaves Drew, she has to take care of them on her own and not just the original two girls. Somebody said he asked the child if he should leave. Yeah, that's my biggest thing. Like, why was the child involved in the conversation in any capacity? I'm just not getting it. It's a lot of things in here about why did he ask the child if he should leave. You know, that confused me. Let's go down some. I don't know why this shit is highlighted, but somebody said major red flag. He brought up Addie multiple times, like she had something to do with their personal adult relationship. Yeah, that's very weird. But I don't want to insinuate anything. I don't want to say anything. I don't know. You know, that's a lot to try to put on somebody. So, and the other shit is highlighted and it's not going down. So you know what? That's it, you guys. I'm going to stop sharing my screen really quickly. Just give me a second so I can get on over here. Okay. And I'm going to exit off of that. All right, you guys. So listen, you guys let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Do you think that Stephanie is genuinely really ready to leave Drew? Or do you think that this is a money grab? Okay, because you guys heard what I think. I think that Stephanie just wants the support of the internet, and she wants to benefit financially from the internet the way that Desiree has. She wants the sympathy of everyone. She wants people to team up with her, you know, and donate to her so she can get to where she needs to be. You know, she's very insecure and she really can't take the criticism that she has been getting online. So I think it's really been getting to her. But you know what, you guys, I think that she may just fake it and act like, you know, she's no longer with Drew. Meanwhile, he might still be in the background. Okay. She just wants to see if the people will support her the way they have supported the other baby mamas that he has. That's my opinion. And that's on period. Okay. That's all I have to say about the situation at this time. I'm going to continue to follow this whole situation and see what happens. And we'll continue to react on it, you guys. But listen, before I get off of here, I just want to ask you to please like the video, comment your thoughts down below because y'all know I want to hear what y'all got to say. And also hit that subscribe button for me too if you have not done so already. And until next time, you guys, I will see you all later. Bye-bye.